Welcome to the Transformation Institute's podcast for change. Here is our host, Omari Jahi Aton.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Transformation Institute podcast for change. I'm your host, Omari Jahi. I don't know where my co-hosts are, but hopefully they'll be popping in real soon. But today, we're going to be discussing a topic, that's it's kind of, how can I say, it's pretty interesting. We're dealing with some issues, dealing with political issues that we really feel that we need to address, and we need to bring it to the attention of as many people as possible, so that we can kind of have an idea as to how we may be able to combat this thing, because it's not getting any better, it's going to get worse. So let me introduce my co-hosts here. We have Miss Vanessa and we have Miss Brenda. Welcome.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
So to get started, I just want to show this video that you sent us, Brenda. Hold on, let me turn this music off. I want to show this video so that people can get an idea of what the issue is.
Okay.
So hold on one second. Here we go. Let me share my screen. And here we go.
I need all of y'all to understand that what is on the ballot is they could wipe out with one goddamn ruling more than 30 black congressional seats. That means right now the Congressional Black Caucus is the largest caucus in the United States Congress, and this Supreme Court could literally wipe out
Come on.
half of the damn Congressional Black Caucus. So don't tell me you're being too emotional. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right now they're looking to wipe out Congressman Cleaver in Missouri. They're looking to wipe out Congresswoman Sykes in Ohio. They've already wiped out a black seat in Florida. I've told y'all repeatedly that they want to defund black America. They want to take everything economically, everything politically, academics, business. They want Jim Crow 2.0 to return. And what you had better understand is read a goddamn history book. Because this is exactly what happened after the 1875 decision. This is exactly what happened after Plessy versus Ferguson.
Come on. Oh, y'all hang in there. Hold it. It's just buffering. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
When they wiped out black representation in Congress. Go read the speech of that last black Republican who was from North Carolina. The reason the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards is called that because he said to them, you may wipe us out now, but we're going to rise like a phoenix. Every single one of y'all watching, y'all want to understand why I'm trying to tell y'all, stop sitting here debating this bullshit, LeBron and MJ, and we talk about dance and everything. These white nationalists literally are trying to wipe out every black advancement that we have seen, not since the Civil Rights Movement, but since Reconstruction. This is not a drill. This is reality. You had better understand. I'm not going to be silent while it happens. And if you are black, if you're unwilling to fight, if you ain't got the spirit of Shirley Chisholm, of being unbought and unbossed, well, get your ass out the way and let some folks in who are ready to do battle.
Okay, let me stop it right there. So, as y'all could hear, he's very passionate about this situation that black folks seem to find themselves in. He's very passionate. Hey, Bam just came in. Welcome back. Yes. Oh, she's saying welcome back to us.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I mean, just to be kind of clear, Vanessa, can you kind of break this down for us as far as how they're remapping and everything like that? I know we was talking about it the other day, and you seem to have a pretty good idea about what's going on. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So, he's pretty much.
Oh, that's on me. Let me mute. Okay.
You can't hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay. So, his perspective is a perspective that all Black America should really have right now, because everything that's going on is, being put forth to kind of like wipe out all of our powers politically. And, when you wipe out our powers politically, everything falls into play. They start with just the political powers. Now they start writing bills that kind of hurt us more than they help us. This whole thing that he's talking about pretty much is them being them doing something called gerrymandering. And what that does is every 10 years, your area is given X amount of representation based on the area. With them now trying to
Vanessa, hold on. Let me be clear. When you say your area, you talking about like district? Because I know they have different districts and stuff like that. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Yeah. So for instance, like Tennessee, because we talked about Tennessee as an example. Their area in their district in Memphis. Well, Memphis is predominantly Black. So a lot of the things that are going to get passed that help the Black people in Tennessee come out of the Memphis area. If you break that up, or if you redo the districts or whatever, and you redo the maps, the political map, then what's happening is now all of these Black voices are being split up. So now when it comes time to vote and the electoral votes and everything, you aren't going to get people that look like you voting for things that will help you. So now your voice is being made that much smaller. And if that is the goal, to say, okay, let's get them out, because if we notice they're becoming a minority. So now it's like, okay, if we keep allowing them to get into politics and to get representation, we aren't going to come out on top. So they're doing what all thieves do, steal. That's pretty much what it is. It's them stealing, trying to steal areas and control areas that they normally wouldn't be able to. It's almost like if you represent Inglewood, I represent Auburn Gresham, Brenda represents Austin. If these are three important voices for Black people, well, if somebody who runs the North Side says, you know what, I'll take all three of theirs, he's going to be able to stack people that look like him and do the things that he wants to do in all of our districts, because now we fall under one map. And so now our three voices have been downsized, and now we have to listen to what someone else is saying and voting for us, or saying, hey, I'm not going to put this up for discussion because it's not important. So when we're empowered to do things, then, we kind of put out there what we want people to do for us. And usually, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I'd rather have someone that looks like me speaking for me and fighting for me. Now, the sad thing about this is, in our communities, we're told that your vote is important. Well, not everyone is getting this information, but a lot of people in our communities think that your vote doesn't count. So you get all this conversation, well, your vote doesn't really count. And, do you really think if your vote didn't count, they'd be doing so much to keep you from voting? Would they have fought King and everyone else to keep you from voting? And I don't care if that were true and our votes really didn't count, I would still vote. You want to know why? Because people that look like us died and gave blood and lives for the right to vote. But anything that we do, we seem to do well. And that's a threat to people. So why not keep these people from doing things? And I'm trying not to go down a whole different rabbit hole, but the suppression of Black people is deliberate. It's deliberate because there's greatness in us and they know that. So,
yeah,
with all the different trying to keep us from having, some say, usually you can do things and people will still come out on top. But here's the thing, whatever our ancestors fought for, they're slowly chipping away. And the sad part is these are rights that most of Black America just received these rights within the last 80 years. 80 years is not a lot of time. Some of us were probably kids during the civil rights movement or shortly thereafter. That's not a lot of time to know that your parents fought for something that I lived on freely, and now my child may have to fight just like her grandparents did. That's crazy. But that's not saying anything, we're not fighting or voting, that's what's going to happen. We're going to lose all of this stuff and have to fight all over again. And that's their plan. I don't know if you want to add to that or.
Yeah, well, see, I'm hearing what you're saying and everything, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm comprehending. Because, see, I really don't follow politics as much, like a lot of Black people don't follow politics, that as much. And I think I just want to make sure I'm understanding what's being said, and that's that what they've decided to do is to monopolize voting in a way by combining 2 to 3 different Black districts. Maybe let's say if you had 3 separate Black districts and each one of those districts had a senator or representative, a Black one, that was representing those districts. They remapped the whole district thing and combined those 3 districts into one district, eliminating 2 Black votes. You see what I'm saying? So that seems like the trick that's going on. Or that they'll even combine maybe 2 Black districts and a Hispanic district or a Caucasian district, and get rid of the Black representatives and just leave that one Hispanic or Caucasian representative to represent Black people now. You know, and that seems like the trick that's being done here. And to be honest, if you ain't really following politics, it could happen right under our nose and we wouldn't know anything about it. You know, because we don't go to community meetings. You know, they have those little meetings and they advertise them. You know, if you following your aldermen and things of that nature, or you getting their newsletters. You know, some of us, we don't give a damn about what our aldermen's doing. Matter of fact, we don't even know what they doing because we ain't really following them. After the election and we vote, after that we own something else. You know, we ain't paying attention to what these aldermen's doing. We ain't paying attention to what these elected officials are doing until it begins to affect us like it is now. And it might be too late, you see what I'm saying? Because if they've already remapped the district, you know, then that's a problem. Brenda, share with us your feelings on this, because I know you kind of brought this to us.
Unmute yourself, Brenda.
You're muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, y'all hear me now? You hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All I know is I like you am not real politically correct. I don't really watch the news and a lot of stuff. Every now and then when I hear something, I go in to find out more details. So that's what was happening with me this past week. And I kept seeing these little clips of like what you just talked about, this redistricting, eliminating Black leaders in different cities and stuff, right? So, I mean, it was like all over. And I was like, oh my God, if they could just, whatever they're doing to eliminate someone, like you said, that's like us, that's speaking for us, then what happens when they eliminate every last one of them? I mean, my only, what I'm so fervent about right here is us, like you just said, and we need to be slapped on the wrist for that too, that once the elections are over, we really don't deal with anything unless, like you said, unless it deals with us. If we see something that seems like it's hitting us, then we get a little upset, like I am now. And I don't want to say I'm scared, but I just believe that if we don't do anything and we don't stick to something, you know, we can't just talk about it. We do have to start being about stuff, because we can really be like wiped out again. You know, I don't think we could ever go all the way back to being slaves, but it could be some form of slavery. It could be some form of being held back. I can see where we'll have to fight again real hard to get to a certain point. I can see that, because when I watch these little things and I see what's her name? Jasmine Crockett. I see her. I love the way she talks. I love the way she, you know, gets the information out, but she's been getting information out to us. What are we doing when she gets the information out to us? You know, it just started really bothering me that they can, just the mere fact that our president is a felon alone, if nothing else, the fact, y'all know a Black man couldn't have had 2 felons and been the president of the United States. Y'all know that. Everybody knows that. Every time you listen to these meetings that they're having in these offices, the Republicans don't answer the questions. They give vague answers or they talk around it. The fact that they can do that and nothing gets done about that. All of this should be scary to us as a people. But then I digress from that and I think about us as a people. I think about in our own families, how we can't get along in our families, what we got to stop playing this game, y'all, or I don't think we'll be extinct, but we'll be damn near. I mean,
slavery there's like you said, slavery might not be a thing whereas you picking cotton and working off a plantation, but I mean, what ain't these corporations the same? I think corporations ain't nothing but a new plantation. You get up early in the morning like you did as a slave. You go and work for sun up to sundown, you know, for little or nothing. Well, slaves wouldn't get nothing, you know. But I don't want to get, that's a whole nother conversation there. But I do believe, like what you said, Brenda, it's like we not, you know, we need to come together and fight this thing. But we've been talking about coming together about a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, we don't, you know, how they said, the heat ain't got to our feet yet, personally or something maybe, you know. But we said that on another podcast not too long ago when Trump was doing his thing and when they had shut down the government and all that kind of stuff, we said that, you know, Trump was going to force black people to unify, you know. But now the thing is, when he forced us to unify, in what condition are we going to be in? Are we going to have, you know, we ain't going to have no rights. We ain't going to have no say-so. We ain't going to have no representative. You know, they might even shut down our black businesses, you know, and I mean, they can do anything. You know, it's like this. When you, and this is how I feel, and you all tell me what you think about it. When you living in somebody else's house, you got to abide by their rules, and they can change the rules anytime they get ready. And this is what these people do. You know, they move the goalposts, they change the rules, they make new rules. They don't have to tell you they changed the rules. It's just that when you break them, then they'll tell you that you broke the rules about a rule that you didn't even know was in existence. You know, and you still are being judged by something you didn't even know was in existence. You know, and this is the game that they're playing right now. And if you don't forget that they had a 2025 plan that nobody, we all act like, oh, forget that. Oh, what the, remember Plan 2025? Them Republicans, they had a plan, and we didn't read it. Go ahead, Ness. What you were saying?
I said Project 2025.
Yes, thank you. Project 2025. You know, we didn't download it. We didn't read it. We didn't have conversation. We didn't have meetings on it. We just was looking at, okay, so what? They got a Project 2025. So what? We don't care. You know, now that that was probably part of the project to do just what they're doing right now. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
it was over 80% what they were doing has been fulfilled.
And here we are, you know.
And so for the few of us that did download it, I can tell you, we probably didn't read the entire thing because it was like 900 and something pages.
Yeah, and see, and again, remember what they said about black people. If you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because niggas don't read. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of us, but we can't force everybody to get on the same page. So even though there were many black people talking about Project 2025, there was so many people, oh, they'll never be able to do that. It's against the law. Well, we're seeing that they aren't playing by the book. The laws are being broken. I assume that when all of this is over, there will be many going to jail behind it. But until then, they're going to do a lot of damage. And we know when they do that much damage that it takes years. Probably it's going to take decades to get back to where we were prior to him getting back.
So my question is this. You just said when all of this is over, a lot of them are going to be going to jail. I keep seeing that too, kind of when they're being spoken to, everything that they've done, like when Jasmine Crockett talks to them. And I can't think of the other man I just watched this morning. But when they're talking to them, they are saying that these things that they are doing are illegal. My problem with that is everybody's saying they're illegal, but ain't nothing happening to them. Illegal stuff, we do illegal stuff, we going to jail. We do illegal stuff. I don't get it.
They've stacked the deck. All the people who saying yay and nay to them, and they aren't saying a lot of nay, they're saying a lot of yays and letting a lot of things pass because Project 2025, they were stacking everything. So half of the Supreme Court now, they're allowing a lot of stuff to pass because they aren't unbiased. You know, usually you're supposed to be independent and you aren't supposed to take one side over the others. We got a couple of justices up there that don't care about that. They're kind of like his boys, and they are, whatever he says, there's a lot of stuff is flying through. A few things they kick back, but whenever they kick back, he says, I'm on you. And now they have to worry about, you know, what he's going to do next. And part of that is a lot of them are afraid of him. And I believe that's why they chose him to be the face of Project 2025 in action, because he really has nothing to lose. He really doesn't. I mean, they set it up where he's going to have so much immunity. Now they have to find a way around all of that to get to him after this. But I won't say what I really feel about if he'll even be around at the time when all of this blows over, if it blows over anytime soon, because they're doing so much illegal stuff. And because he has all his people that usually, you know, we would go to say, hey, stop this. Congress and Senate are usually the ones we go to. Those are the ones we should be focusing on when we're voting, because these are the people that supposedly make all the rules. This man is saying, forget them. I'm not concerned with them because half of them are my people. They're going to do what I tell them. And he's just doing whatever.
How did he come in and all of those black leaders? It's a list. I can't find my piece of paper that I wrote down earlier to talk about all this, but all the people that were the black senators or the black representatives in other states, how did they get set down? All I heard, and maybe I came in late on it, but all I've heard is that they set down so-and-so. They set down, you know, the first black lady that did so-and-so. They set down, you know, how did they just get set down? Is there some sort of rule? I just can't even imagine that the president could come in and just sit down a bunch of black people. There had to be some sort of loophole. How was the black people not voted down, but just sat down, taken down from high places, you know, spots where they could have made a difference? How is that even possible in America when it's so many of us? And like I said, I hate to say this, but I do feel like we really don't help each other. But even with that, there's a lot of black senators and political people that's fighting for some stuff. How do they get set down, taken from their spots, and this redistricting? How can this all just happen and we're just walking around here, you know, having lavish parties and, you know, dancing to black music and doing stuff in the political party is tearing us apart? How is this possible? There's no laws to stop some. When I'm hearing Jasmine Crockett and them talk and they say some dynamic things, they say some stuff that can rev you up. And then what happens after this? What happens after that? After those meetings we hear, what happens after that? I never hear them. What?
No,
what?
You know, when you don't have any representation, See, those senators, those representatives, these aldermen, they supposed to represent us. And I remember saying this on another talk show. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been some time ago, but I remember. It was when we were doing the Black View, and I was saying that, you know, I think it was when Brandon Johnson was running for mayor. I think that's when it was. And I remember saying something to the effect of, you know, these politicians, they work for who pay them. You know, who signs their check. You know, you could say all day, well, I represent the people of the 16th district or of the 18th district. I'm their alderman and this, that, and another. But if the people of the 16th district ain't paying your check, or the 18th district ain't paying your check, and City Hall pays your check, then guess who they really work for? You see, and we don't think like that. We don't even care. Maybe we don't care who they work for. Let them get on. I vote for them because they black. Let them get in there and get some of that money like the white people getting it. You know. And we don't care whether we being represented or not, because we really don't care about politics. We ain't into that, you know, that politics stuff. You know, we didn't understand it in school. You know, the chain of command, the government, the judicial system, I don't even know how that crap goes, because I didn't care about it either. You know, but here we are now. But now, what can be done? What can we do about this? What can we do to stop it? You know, they've been planning this for a while. That Project 2025, they sat down and they organized. They went behind closed doors and they got organized. And they planned this out. And I'm sure they thought about, well, what could they do if we did institute this? And they made sure they covered all their tracks, that we can't do nothing about it.
Well, we can. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? I'm trying to get in.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Trying to get the camera to work. But one of the things that you said, we don't understand the politics part. But in order to graduate out of 8th grade back in the day, you had to pass a constitution test. And then you had to retake it again in high school and pass it in order to get a high school diploma. We taken the test, but we didn't see the game that they was playing. We passed the test. That's all, just to get by. We didn't put that into our life and pay attention or pass it down, but we had to take it twice before we can get a high school diploma. The other thing is watching when we get distracted. When my ward was the 16th ward, Alderman, it was a 16th ward. And we one time used to go to the CAP meetings and the community meetings, and then somehow life started lifing and we started not going and participating. But back in the day when Ed Brooke, I think Burke or whatever was in the alderman, they had a thing that you could not have any establishment in this zip code, in this area that I live in, without it saying an English sign. So you can have whatever you want in whatever language you selling it, but you must have it bold enough in English. Now, we didn't go to those meetings when they was remapping. We didn't participate. We just woke up one day and I'm no longer in the 16th ward. I'm in the 15th ward with Raymond, whatever his name. I'm in a whole different, my ward been changing. It slipped right under. I didn't see it. I didn't participate in. My neighbors just as worse as me didn't see. Well, how they just switched our ward? How did they change us from Marquette Park to Chicagoland to we are considered West Inglewood? How did they remap us without our voice? Because we wasn't paying attention at all.
That's what Ty just talked about, right? Yeah. That's what we just talked about. That's what they're doing. They're taking us down. They're redistricting people. Yeah, they're still doing that.
Yeah, but you come into the neighborhood now, you barely see anything in English. Unless it got to be the big one, Walgreens, Dollar General. It got to be the big boys actually in here. Other than that is in other language. And it used to be that If a person was trying to sell something, was it pellet food handling or peddling, whatever, something you had to have a license, and they'll shut you down and everywhere you turn around. And there's not any other cultural, but it's a corn stop, a taco shop. It's everybody on the corner now. But back in the day, we couldn't be sitting up there trying to wash your windows. We get in trouble. They'll get in trouble for trying to play music. They'll get in trouble for trying to wash your windshield. I will ask you, now you can put as many trucks selling as many things as you want, because our area or district change.
Yeah, they're getting rid of you. They're getting rid of you. They're changing the face of the area. I mean, they know what they're doing. We just, like you say, we didn't know what we were doing. And like I said, shame on us. Really, I will go to community meetings now. But now, you know what I'm saying? And I let years go. Now, like you said, Ty, now I'm touched by it. You know what I'm saying? You know why? This is personal to me. I got little grandkids, you know, growing up in a time where I don't want to see them being herded around where they gotta go here and they gotta go there. We know, hey, let me get a little biblical for a minute. I say this when we say, I stand on it, and I'm a little wavery on it, and I hate that, but at the end of the day, I'm going to stand on the word. But it says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, and seek my face. Y'all, we got too many people pretending. We got too many people playing. We got too much junk going on in our lives. We're dealing with the craziness in our homes and in our families, and there's some stuff going on. They know we're dealing with craziness. They're putting it in the streets for us to deal with it. They're giving drugs to our kids, our teenagers, and they letting them have edibles and popping pills and doing stuff. They know what they're doing. We got to know what we're doing. We got to take some control and some accountability. We got to stop talking and do something about it. We as individuals got to do this. Us on here together, I said this before, we need to have a space where we come together, where we're doing something, helping somebody, talking to somebody, and learn the 2025, whatever thing, learn what is happening and talk to people. If we got to have a bullhorn standing on a corner, whatever, all of us are from different neighborhoods. Y'all out that way, I'm on the west side, you know what I'm saying? But we got to come together, stand somewhere and do something. I said this through COVID, that the churches canceled church when they should have came outside. We should be out in the streets with some knowledge, with something to help our young kids graduate. We went to graduations and proms that just ended. There should have been some talk, at the prom and at the graduation, something to encourage young Black people to know what's going on. Because some of them kids now are graduating from high school. Some of them are 18, some of them are 19. They're voting age. They need to know some stuff. They don't need to just know that they were pretty for prom. They need to know that they won't be here long if they keep on living the way they living, or if they don't give. And then we got Black entrepreneurs who are in our neighborhoods. I saw a video the other day. I'm gonna quit in a minute, but I saw a video today or yesterday of an Asian guy. He was upset about something about Black people saying that they was gonna kick them out of the neighborhood, the Chinese places and the stuff like that. And then he talked about us, but he hit the nail on the head with things. He said, why? Because y'all not in y'all neighborhoods with your restaurants, because y'all don't own nothing, y'all don't do this, and y'all don't do that. He was so right. We don't have Black grocery stores on every corner. We don't have Black so-and-so. We're not getting along with each other. He was right. We're in the neighborhood mad at each other. We in families not talking to each other. We can't. What we gonna do? But and when you talked about that time, we talked about getting together. They're gonna make us get together. I was talking about going back to the old days where we fed each other, where we step in each other's houses, cause somebody ain't gonna have no house because they ain't gonna be able to pay taxes. So we're gonna be forced to live together. When we can't, all we got to do is try right now to make it where we don't have to do this. Find out how we do taxes and stuff. You know, we We got to do something to bring some awareness, because our young people, they think they got it made, y'all. They think we're doing something about it and they don't have to do anything. And we're not. They're going to be more messed up than us.
You know, yeah, you know, back in the day when something like this happened, you know who came to the rescue? The church.
You right.
Dr. King was a pastor. Malcolm X was a minister. Jesse Jackson, pastor. You see what I'm saying? All our leaders came from the church. We don't hear a piss poor amp nothing coming from these preachers. And we paying our tithes, and we go to their church every Sunday, and ain't none of them said a word about none of this. Ain't nobody standing up.
They're saying it in the church. They're saying it at church to the congregation. They talking to stuff, but they not coming together to help. Nobody's coming together. Churches don't seem to come together no more. It's like a fight with that. I don't know.
Well, you know,
just like we can't group all churches together, because there are some ministers that are out here, you know, speaking up on this stuff. It's always going to be like that. It's going to be a few. Even when Dr. King and Malcolm X was out there talking and standing up, it was a lot of people that didn't agree with everything they were saying.
Right.
Our problem with the church now is because Black people don't believe in the church like they used to. I'm just going to say it. That's why
I don't either.
There are so many churches that don't have hardly any members, because people just don't believe in going to church anymore, because they don't believe in the ministers. They don't believe that they're righteous. They don't believe that, you know, they're going to do the right thing. And it's about what we've allowed to happen over the years. So again, a lot of stuff that's going on in our neighborhoods and our communities won't get better until we get better as a people. But while we're trying to do that, we have to stop being all over the place. We have to start focusing on one thing at a time. We can't stop the house from burning if you're over here doing something, I'm over here doing something, and the fire is in the middle. Somebody has to work on that middle to get the fire out. If I'm just pouring water right here and you're pouring water over here, until we get to that middle and knock it out there, it's not going to make a difference. It's just going to get spread. So a lot of the things that's going on now is going to get worse if we don't get better.
I agree, but I have to disagree with what you just said, Vanessa. Simply because I still got to hold these churches accountable. You know, we could say that there are some churches out there and pastors that might be saying something and doing some things, and I applaud them. We need to get their names. We need to know who they are so we could support their efforts. You see what I'm saying? If there are some out here, but I haven't heard of any. I haven't heard nobody talking about this. You know, and where do you have the masses of Black people come together where a conversation about what we can do and what our next move can be is the churches? You see what I'm saying? If on Sundays the pastor ain't talking about this government and about what they're doing wrong to our people, and I can tell you why they not. If you remember, see, this is how long they've been planning this. Do you remember faith-based initiatives? You remember when the government started passing out money for faith-based initiatives? And these preachers were getting money from the government and now they got these mega churches. You see what I'm saying? Because they're getting all this money and see, all of this was pre-planned to the point now they mute. They can't say nothing. Because you can't bite off the hand that feeds you. This is why you don't hear nobody out. I mean, I used to hear guys on the bullhorn standing on the corner of, what's that, 79th and National. I used to see a guy out there all the time with a little bullhorn screaming to the top of his lungs. Nobody. I ain't heard a peep, nothing. And you can't tell me that that there are some people that's doing it. Give me some names. If there's some people doing give me some.
I believe I'm with Vanessa. I believe that there are, because just like we don't see them, they don't see us. They don't know us talking like we're talking. It's the same thing.
But research it and give me some names. Give me some names. Because just to say I believe somebody doing it don't make it so.
But the church,
Okay.
is a group of people.
It still don't make it so whatever we believe. But we can only talk for what we can do. What are we doing to get people to join with us? What are we doing?
But we don't have nothing. We don't have a $1,000 church.
You are the body of the church, Joe. You are the body. We are the body. We got to go to church. Church is in school. Church should be at your job. Church should be, it's not in no building that says Saint so-and-so or so or Baptist so-and-so. Church got to be us. You can't.
But how is that working out for us? How is that working out? You go to work and try to talk. You go to work and try to.
That's why we're talking tonight. That we have to do something. Okay, so we're gonna wait on the church. We're gonna wait on the church then. You got it.
We're not. No, I'm not saying that we wait on the church. I'm saying that if you go into a church and your preacher ain't saying nothing about this, you need to rethink about being a part of that church. That's what I'm saying.
But our pastors are talking about this just like we are. They are too. Do they know what to do? Are they doing anything? I don't know. But we talking just like they're talking. I hear some stuff from at my church. I'm not saying that my pastor is perfect, because he's not. Because we've been talking for a long time and ain't nothing happening. I'm just saying we ain't gonna keep on being talking about who ain't doing it. So we're gonna have to start doing something more than talking, because they're talking too. There are some ministers that are talking and not doing. It's happening. So we all got to do something. We all got to be held accountable. We got millionaires, black millionaires. We got black people who got money, who's not. You remember me and you talked about this yesterday, that people are afraid to come to the front. Remember we talked about that? And you said to me, I said people are scared that they might get killed because we got people who get, because
that's what they do. Yes.
Right. So what did you tell me though? What did you say to me about dying? You said did Jesus die for us? Ain't that what he did?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't that's what we say in church? Ain't that what we believe? He died for our sins. He died to make a difference. Some of us need to stop being scared, and we might die. What we talked about this, didn't we? We talked about Martin Luther King. What did he say? I might not get there with you. Did he say that? Why? Because he knew.
Yes.
See, and we got to stop being afraid. And I told you, what did I tell you? That I'm scared. I'm 65 years old. I'm scared. I think about death a lot now. But you know what? What is pushing me? My little grandkids, my kids. I don't want them to have to go through a whole lot of craziness, slavery type things, being held back, can't do what they want to do. So now, I got to stand up and I got to ask the Lord to help me to not be afraid, to stand out front. Stop worrying about what nobody else ain't doing, because I got to do something, because it's dear to me. And it ain't just my grandkids. It's around me. My neighbors. I'm a person who speaks and talks to anybody. I ain't scared of nobody to talk to nobody. I don't know nobody better than me, and I don't know nobody beneath me. But it's time to do something. It's time to let us go to the church. You know what? I will go to my church and ask. I have never gone and said to them, talk like this to them about this. As a matter of fact, I should have invited some of them that on our prayer line to this podcast tonight. I have never even done that. We got to do more than keep talking. I'm
just saying, it's like the what, like I'll give you an example of what I'm saying. Reverend Johnny L. Miller, pastor of Mount Vernon Baptist Church, right?
Yeah.
All kind of folks. He got big old place that he and he's in like a church kind of coalition or something. It's like a lot of different churches. My point is if we go talk to Reverend Miller and say, Reverend Miller, this is getting out of hand. We need to organize and strategize and plan on what we can do in order to combat this. And if Reverend Miller say, well, hey, he got this big old church. Hey, let's use my church and let's come in here and let's organize and let's do something. But now, and that would be great. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm just using Reverend Miller as an example, but I'm talking about any pastor. And if they turn around and say, well, I don't get into politics, church pastors aren't.
We keep moving. We go to the next one.
Yeah, but that pastor he need all his people to leave his damn church.
Man, that's not gonna happen. We ain't gonna even worry about it. We gonna keep on going forward with our agenda because that's not gonna happen. People, we already know that.
Based on what you're saying, then we're doomed. You see what I'm saying? Now what I'm saying is that because of how black people are, black people ain't gonna come together. When the bus fare went up and we said that
we keep moving. I didn't say that they all not, because some people in this church might, some ministers under him might, so under a pastor that says he's not, I mean, there's some people that might defy him and go with the crowd. Hell no, I am not saying we're doomed. I refuse to quit. No, when they say no, we don't be mad at them. We keep on going. We walk right past those.
No. I wasn't saying get mad at them. I'm saying but let me tell you what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is that we began to campaign against that pastor as far as not being on the same page with black people. Your people that come, the people that are supporting you, the people that probably pay your salary, this and that and another, those people, then I would be standing outside his church with flyers saying, I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying. And I'll be passing out flyers to his congregation telling them, your pastor don't want to help what we are trying to do as a people, and you need to rethink where you do your worship at. I'll be passing out flyers like that at his church. And then maybe he might want to bring me in for a meeting because of that, because of his people starting to leave. We got to do some radical shit. We got to do some stuff like that. We can't just be like, okay, well, you don't want to help us? Well, thank you for meeting with us, and then we go to the next one. Well, no, okay, no, hell no. You don't want to do nothing for us? You don't want to work with us? We gonna boycott your ass. We gonna picket outside your damn church and make sure that people know that you ain't doing nothing for your people. You just taking money. You just taking. That's what I'm talking about. That's warfare. Warfare. That's doing something, not just running around.
I just want to add something, Ty, because it's kind of like the problem with us as Black people. If we sitting there worrying about this one pastor or however many pastors that you feel aren't on the same page with you, while you're sitting out there picketing his church, you could be putting that same energy into getting people to know what they need to do to make things happen. Because we're putting our energy in the wrong places.
Right.
Y'all still doing that same crap. That's
no. If you're
hey, that was your opinion and this is hers. You had one and she had one. We can't fight each other, y'all. We gotta love each other.
No, if I disagree with her opinion, you all can disagree with me too. You disagree with me.
But we didn't call your stuff crap. We just said you called her stuff crap.
See, this is what goes on in our communities. Everybody is saying what they want to say, but we all aren't saying, okay, we can agree to disagree. You feel one way, I feel another way, Brenda feels another way. But at the end of the day, regardless of what we're feeling, we got to come together to find out what's going to work for us as a whole. This is one of the reasons why it was supposed to be a separation of church and state. I believe that the others play on this religion thing when it comes time to vote because they know Black people tend to be so passionate about spirituality. So they with all of this, half of the people that's voting that are asking for your vote and telling you about Christianity and woo woo woo, they don't care about that. They care about it when they talk to us, because they say, Black people, just talk about church and talk about this, and you got it. Your salvation is not based on your minister alone. It's about you, what you're gonna do. Because when God judges you, he's not gonna say, oh, what did your minister do for you? He don't care about that, and you shouldn't either. If you know this is what you want to do, like Brenda said, if you take it to one pastor and they say no, you go somewhere else. Because those people that's at his church that heard what you said, when you say, okay, he's not about what I'm about, but I'm taking this here. If you all believe in what I believe, meet me at this church. Guess what, Tyrone? Right. The people that were at that church that you want to pick it, they come with you.
But that's what I said. That's what I said, Vanessa. I said I'll be passing out flyers. That's what I said.
But you putting you were saying it like, I'm passing out flyers, I'm picketing and da-da-da. All you got to do is say it once, because those people hear you. If they know this is what you are about and they agree with what you agree, they're going to move with you. Everybody that was, we always talk about Dr. King.
Ladies.
Had friction within their whole little group, because every minister that was with King had their own thoughts about things too. Just like
agree.
Trying to, strike a little discord with King and Malcolm X. Those brothers thought a lot alike, but because one was Christian and one was Muslim, people tried to play them against each other. And all the time that was wasted pitting them against each other could have been so much more together. By the time they decided we're going to do this stuff together, they were gone.
Okay. All right. Look, let me. I'm just say this, because this is closing thought time. It's, how can I say it? Look, we are, whether we want to accept it or not, we are in a war. We are in a war for our existence. You can't fight a war with love. I have never seen anybody fighting. Now, love has its place. Don't get me wrong. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot fight a war with love. Love is something you implement during peacetime. When you're fighting a war, you have to be strategic, and you have to be a little aggressive with the things that you do when you're fighting. This is why women, well, I shouldn't say, there are some women that are made for war. There are some women that are made for stuff like that. Most women are really into the let's just all get along, let's love one another, come on, let's do this peacefully and this and another. That will get you shot at wartime. That's why women like that should be protected. Men protect them from when it's wartime. And so the thing that I said about the pastor, first of all, ain't no pastor gonna let me get in his pulpit and announce nothing to his congregation. The conversation that I'll be talking to the pastor is gonna be behind closed doors. His people ain't gonna never hear me. So ain't no way they gonna, like you said, Vanessa, they'll hear you, and then if they agree with you, follow. They'll never hear me, because he ain't never gonna let me in his pulpit to talk to his people. Unless he agreed with me.
You would be out front at the church. He said you would pass out things. That's what Vanessa was talking about. You said you would do that. That's what the hearing you come from, not from the pulpit. Right, Vanessa?
No. She assumed that I was going to be talking to the congregation and they would hear me. But that's not it.
You were outside passing out flyers and stuff.
Right.
I'm just You're saying it like I'm gonna go there and pick it as long as I need
Right.
to until they know this and that. And I'm just saying you don't have to do all that because you're spending too much energy on one thing. If you say, hey, this is what I want you all to know. I want to do this. I want to approach it this way. Your pastor isn't on board, but I want to know what you feel. If you think like I think, meet me at so and so. And then they show up or they don't.
Yes, that's what the flyers are for. You see what I'm saying? So to say that I'm wasting my time doing that defeats the purpose, because you're not going to get people to know what you are about and know what you're trying to do unless you go to these big churches and start raising some controversy about what's going on in our community and why your pastor ain't on board with what we trying to do to save our communities. I'll digress. That's my closing thought. We need action. We don't need love. We need action.
Okay, so I think we all are getting different opinions of what you were saying you would do, because I'm thinking you were saying you were doing something a little different than what you're saying, because when you were talking, my whole thing was that you were out there like protesting. That's what it sounded like. You were saying, I'm gonna be out there protesting, giving flyers and everything. So if that's not what you were saying, excuse me. But I feel like still, all you got to do is tell the people once, and whoever's on board is on board. But my closing thought, we have to start paying attention to who's running as far as Congress and Senate, because those are the people that are supposed to be making all the decisions. This president is doing some stuff that no president has ever done before. And it's like they're scared of him. And I don't know what he's holding over them or whatever, because we know he does stuff like that. So I just feel like once we get the people in Congress and Senate that we need to have there, and get these people out that are his yes men, it'll be a change. But we have to start paying attention to who we're putting in those seats, because I feel like, and I could be wrong, but it seems like the Black community as a whole seems to be always concerned with the president and vice president, instead of caring about who is coming in to represent you in Congress, who's coming in to represent you in Senate. This is where all of those things are supposed to take place, all the bills and the laws and everything. That's the part of government that's supposed to handle that. He's doing something totally different. So once we get him out, or he leaves one way or the other, hopefully we can get people in those seats that are doing the jobs that they were supposed to do and not being a yes man. So we need to start, paying attention to who we're voting into those things.
My closing thought. The weapons of our war is not carnal. It's through the pulling down of strongholds. That's prayer. We got to stay prayed up, and we do have to walk in love. And that's me thinking, because, I don't know how to beat up on people, but we can walk in love and we can pray and we can seek God's face for this, because some of these things we fighting, y'all. We fighting powers and principalities. We're not fighting people. We've been doing that in our communities forever. It's time to fight a different fight. And I love you guys, and I want us to be on one accord. And until we on one accord, we're gonna keep on having little fights. We're going to have little things. We're going to have discord. So I pray that one day we become on one accord. We get this thing together. We do what we can do for our country, our people, our whatever. We seek God's face, and we find out what he wants us to do, what he has us to do. We have no power without him. We don't. I don't think so. That's my closing thought.
Well, I agree 1,000% with that. Brenda, we do not have any power without him.
No.
Moses, he God backed him all the way to the Red Sea. You know what I'm saying? And he fought their battles for them. But you know what the key thing was? He was the leader, and they followed him. Without a head, we can't go nowhere.
Then we pray for a head.
That's what we need to pray for then. We need to pray for a head. Because without a head, we stumbling around blind, and that's what we're doing right now. So, well, our time has ran out, but thank everybody for being on. Thank Yolanda for your comments. Josie. Oh, Josie was watching them. Yeah, I was seeing them. Yeah, I was seeing them. Mm-hmm.
I hope people that's listening, go back and can they see your comments later? Or no?
Yeah, if they go back and watch it, they can see them because I put them all up. And then when they come up, they can pause the video and you know, because sometimes it takes you a minute to read it, you know, because it's so little. But they can pause it and read it. Tyshonda, she was on. Peaches. Elaine was watching. Thank you, Elaine.
Yeah.
For being on. Until next week, y'all. We might do a part 2 to this because we need to kind of solidify. You know, where do we go from here? I guess. You know, what are we gonna do about this thing? You were saying, Brenda, we need to do something. You know, and you're very passionate about it. I could tell in your voice how passionate you are about it, and I agree with you. We have to do something. So let's think about what can be done, and let's get back in next Thursday, and let's see what we can hash out. All right, till next Thursday, y'all. Y'all have peace and love.
Thanks for supporting our podcast. We look forward to see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. We also ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The more subscribers we have, the more YouTube will push our podcast to more viewers. But until then, subscribe also for a peaceful mind. Your activity will reflect that peace.